Charlie is not ready to let go of Brat. Then why should I be?
You gotta wonder, will I disagree or concur? Because it's deep dive time! Let's go. Mike's on, hot takes ahead, big bombs, bigger brain threads. First play, are you all aboard? Welcome to the track record. Let's have some fun now.
Well, for that one person who doesn't know who Charli XCX is in the year of our Lord 2025, firstly, question mark? But okay, well, she is both a chart-topping mercenary. Step 1, heard of Boom Clap, heard of Fancy, and a hyperpop anarchist at the same time, releasing diary entry records like Pop 2 with PC Music's glitchy futurism. Then flipping the script with 2024's Brat, a neon green statement against pop's demand for neatness. Brat isn't an album, it's a grenade rolled into VIP section of music industry. So, who is Charli actually? She isn't that serious about every off-the-cuff remark. Remember her cheeky "Miss should be headliner" sash at Coachella this year? And then her playful Green Day spat, so to speak, which ended with the drummer sporting an actual headliner sash and then Billy Joe Armstrong rocking the lime green Brat cap themselves. It ended because she reposted their pictures with a single word: obsessed. Okay, if you're not chronically online, this sounds unhinged, but if you are, you know what I mean. She keeps a foot out, so to speak, from her celebrity. Politically speaking, her activism is vibe-based. Well, we'll unpack the Kamala is Brat tweet in a moment, but she blurs pop and politics to spark conversation, but at the same time not to provide for policy. My music isn't political, she claims. Everything I do in my life feeds back into my art. Politics doesn't feed my art, she says. And yet, Brat is a walking political and cultural thrasher magazine cover. All skinned knees that dissect capitalism's grind, reproductive anxiety, and the performative hellscape of fame. That's Charli for you. So why do I talk about Brat? Well, because it's more than an album for me. It's a pop litmus test for generation raised on TikTok activism and sheen halls. Imperfect, self-aware, and unafraid to dance through the apocalypse. We know those Florida hurricane reels. So why Brat matters? By reclaiming Bratty as a badge of honor, Charli XCX turned a playground insult into a billion-dollar brand. One that thrives on chaos, not capitalism. And the marketing? That's the art. You can't remove marketing from this album. Forget merch. Brat is anti-product. Its neon green aesthetic isn't just a color. It's a vibe ripped from DIY club kids and TikTok edits. When H&M collabed on Bratcore fashion, yes, it reeked of hypocrisy. Save the planet but slay the fit. But Charli leverages fast fashion's reach to democratize affordability, even as critics lament the environmental cost. It's curated consumerism, selling the idea of rebellion, not the polyester. So, why does it work? Charli isn't just moving units, she's building a cult, literally speaking. Brat's power comes from its delicious contradictions. A hyper-commercial project that mocks commercialism. A feminist manifesto, so to speak, written in glitter-flecked sarcasm. It's pop for the girl boss burnout generation. Too self-aware to stand capitalism, but too broke to quit Shein. And that's the masterstroke. Brat doesn't care if you side-eye the H&M collab. It's too busy crowd surfing on Gen Z's existential dread. And I think I just called myself out. Ouch! Let's get down with it then, shall we? What was the world like when we got this album? So Kamala Harris's Brat? Question mark? Let's talk about that finally. When Charli XCX tweeted it that Kamala is Brat, it was funny, a little chaotic, and extremely chronically online. And look, I get it. In a world of hot pink ceasefires and girl boss drone strikes, calling any politician Brat is already satire. But calling someone Brat who calls themselves capitalist in 2024? That's not Brat. It's borderline Black Mirror, and that's scary. Brat as an identity is a slippery little eel at this point. It's not just about being annoying for the plot or disruptive for TikTok. It's about owning your mess, being radically unserious in a world that demands constant curation. And crucially, it's about building community, not tech startup grade exclusion. So, sure, Kamala isn't Trump, which thank God, but let's not pretend being less bad equals Brat status. Charlie herself admitted that the tweet was in the moment, a vibe and not a wedding. But this is the context in which you find this record in. And the edits, I'll be the first person to say that I loved them. You fell from the coconut tree? Iconic. But let's be real. No aesthetic can rebrand a policy platform. A killer meme doesn't cancel out plans like giving tax rebates as a solution for housing crisis, for example. Like even John Keynes is spinning in his grave with the way we're slapping pink bows on half measures and calling them historic. It's embarrassing at this point. And I'm tired of seeing the step in right direction all the damn time. When the pushback from bigotry comes like tsunami, it's bad. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes Charlie's Brat campaign so genius. It weaponizes unseriousness. It turns chaos into critique. But we can't let the glitter blind us. Did we really not see it coming? We didn't go from Brat summer to Hitler winter out of nowhere. It was always there. And here we are. Roll credits. Oof, I think I am too passionate about this and I'll keep on yapping and we'll be here for the whole day. So let's move on. Let's keep it moving. Let's get down to the thematic analysis. I feel there's a dual thread throughout the album. Firstly, Brat as a feminist spectacle. The art of refusal. Let me be poetic. She refuses to be. I can be. Charli XCX weaponizes feminine chaos in this album. She rejects the expectation that women must be palatable or politically pristine. This is feminism as disruption. Self-celebrating, self-centered, jealous, and unapologetic. Tracks like Girls So Confusing dissect female rivalry with surgical precision, exposing the lie that women must perform eternal solidarity, and then to have the subject matter on the remix, the Lord goes crazy with Lord. It's truce between two artists navigating a system that pits them against each other. And the genius though, Brad's community isn't built on sanitized girl power, but it's on the shared chaos. It's hyper-feminism for the Girl 5 Eva generation, exhausted by corporate pinkwashing and hungry for raw authenticity. Secondly, it's presenting vulnerability as armor, grief, guilt, and grind all packaged into one. Because Charlie may have presented this album as a literal club classic, which OMG it is, but beneath the glitter, Brat is a diary of existential dread. Charlie layers club-ready bangers with stark confessions. Sometimes I just want to rewind. I think about it all the time that I might run out of time. This isn't just vulnerability as marketing ploy. It's a scream into the void of late-stage capitalism, where success and selfhood feel mutually exclusive at this point. The album's emotional core, So I, mourns Sophie, the late hyperpop pioneer with auto-tune grief. By embedding tribute in a glitchy banger, Charlie argues that mourning can coexist with hedonism. It's a radical act, honoring loss without sanitizing it, letting grief dance as Sophie would have enjoyed. So I guess you can tell that I love this album because I love this album! So here we go! Oh my god! At this point, if I'm confused about the remix part, I know the remixes are separate project altogether, but they're connected still. So if I feel like they add to a particular track, I might just talk about it. So here we go!
Track 1, 360.
360! Charli XCX's 360 isn't just hyperpop banger. It's a hall of mirrors reflecting the absurdity of modern celebrity and clout chasing. With lyrics like 666 with the princess streak, she's weaponizing camp to satirize the very it girl aesthetic she's accused of commodifying. The song's bass beat, a sonic Willy Wonka factory of glitching synths, which embodies the hedonistic chaos of Brat culture, where self-mythology and self-parody collide. Lines here are top-notch, mocking the performative grandeur of influencer persona. Yet, in true Charli fashion, the track also bangs unapologetically. It's a paradox, a critique of narcissism that demands you narcissistically post it on TikTok. Oh my god, that's genuinely genius. And she's not just laughing at the culture, she's laughing with it because she's the architect here. And the impact of this song just crystallizes Gen Z's existential loop of self-obsession and self-awareness. By soundtracking the 360 spiral of online identity, Charli turns the club into a therapy couch of sorts. We remember that on that. Track 2. Club Classics. If Club Classics were a drink, it would be vodka Red Bull served in a diamond-encrusted sippy cup. Charli and co-writer producer A.G. Cook craft a fidget house anthem that's equal parts nostalgia and equal parts nihilistic. There's a haunting subtext. What happens when the party stops? The remix sharpens the track's teeth, framing nightlife as both rebellion and the capitalist machinery. Yes, party is escapism, but for the marginalized communities, it's also a safe space. The song's meta-ness peaks when you realize Club Classics is destined to become a club classic. The impact here, in a post-after-hours world where party albums often glamorize burnout, Club Classic resurrects the rave as a site of queer joy and resistance. It's a reminder that the dance floor is political and a battleground for who gets to take up space. Track 3. Sympathy is a Knife. Alright, brats and overthinkers, let's talk about the song that turned pop's knife-edge politics into a disco inferno. Charli XCX's Sympathy as Knife, and we will be talking about the remix as well. This isn't just a track, it's a cultural autopsy, so strap in. Charli opens with, "This one girl taps my insecurities." But who is she? Let's unpack that. Matty Healy low drop, because back in 23, Taylor Swift briefly dated Matty Healy, the frontman of the 1975, who just happens to be bandmates with Charli's fiancé George. When Taylor popped up backstage at 1975 show performing Anti-Hero, the internet exploded. Q, don't want to see her backstage at my boyfriend's show. But that isn't necessarily a diss at Taylor. It's a critique of the game. Charli's confessing the anxiety of existing in Swift's orbit, a monster on the hill as she's called, where female artists are forced into competition for scraps of spotlight. Its reputation's burning witch's angst with a Y2K snarl. But OMG, the remix! I mean, you couldn't get Taylor Swift, it's fine, understandable. But enter Ariana Grande on the lyrics, slicing through the noise. It's a knife when you're so pretty and they think it must be fake. Well, I don't think about that line as a discourse on plastic surgery. It's a different kind of conversation about celebrities' urge to only tell about few procedures and leave out others. It's my show, I pick and choose what I want to talk about. But seriously, see it as an impossible paradox of being a woman in pop. Even if it's Ariana presenting it, you either are too artificial if you believe in the entire discourse, I kinda do, that Ariana's aesthetics are kinda altered, or too calculated if you think about Taylor Swift. You're damned either way no matter what you do. So why is her face different? Why is she dating him? Why isn't she grateful? The knives just never stop coming at you. And here's the thing. I feel like only so many people can be on the top. And this song exposes pop's capitalistic hunger games. Labels pit women against each other because conflict sells. Taylor's tortured poets versus Charli's Brat chart battle? Textbook. When Swift dropped last minute vinyls to block Charlie's UK #1, it wasn't personal, it was just business. Which can be sad, but you are in the system. And here's why this song matters. Charlie reclaims Brat as a badge of honor. It's a hyperpop answer to Taylor's Mad Woman. Less about burning castles, more about dissecting the scalpel. Charlie is not attacking Taylor. She's screaming at the system that made them both pawns within it. Collabing with Ariana, she flips the script. Solidarity over rivalry. Swiftie insert, if you thought Taylor would be on the same record as Matty Healy after growling that he deserves prison for breaking her heart on TTPD, you're delusional. And you're me. I wish this was true. I would have lost my mind if that happened. Honestly, Taylor with Charlie after Reputation tour, I would have gone crazy. I love this song, especially the remix. It's for every woman who's been called too much or not enough. For every artist clawing ownership in a rigged game. Track 4. I might say something stupid. I love this one. And I'm gonna do Swiftyism again. It's the anti-pop ballad that weaponizes vulnerability. Here we go. Charlie's original track already felt like a demo recorded at 3 a.m. after too many espresso martinis. All wobbly keys and self-doubt whispered into a laptop mic. But the remix? It's Matty Healy doing the best impression of tortured poets, sipping existential dread at the Y2K after party. But we can love it because by stripping back the gloss, Charlie mirrors the song's emotional nakedness. This isn't a banger, it's a confession booth. The 1975's contribution amplifies the meta-narrative. See what you say on the interview isn't just a Swiftian Easter egg. I know this will be the last time I talk about her here. It's a critique of celebrities' performative circus though. Healy's delivery, half sung, half sang. It evokes exhaustion of being perpetually famous but not quite. A sentiment Charlie mirrors when she observes how medicine makes him a problem. Together, they dissect fame's hollow core, turning self-deprecation into shared anthem for chronically online generation. I love the lore, if you've noticed. The impact here is that this track's genius lies in its refusal to entertain. In a TikTok-obsessed era where even vulnerability is commodified, Charlie and Healy weaponize rawness. It's a flick to the algorithm. No hooks, no virality, just the ache of existing in a world where every thought might trend. Track 5. Talk. If I might say something stupid as the hangover, Talk is the chaotic pregame. The typical club beat you mentioned. Beneath the 4-on-floor thump, Charlie serves a gospel on communication in the age of superficiality. Talk to me in French, talk to me in Spanish, talk to me in your own made-up language. That isn't just a quirky flex, it's a demand for authenticity. It's a celebration of messy, imperfect dialogue. The kind that happens when you are sweaty on the dance floor, not filtered through a Finsta. The club beat becomes a metaphor for chaos of human interaction. Repetitive, overwhelming, but undeniably alive. I will keep my Troy simping at the minimum or we'll be here all day. And we don't want that. But impact of this song isn't just of it being a pop. It's a rebellion against isolation. In an era of parasocial relationships and AI chatbots, Charlie reminds us that the true connection is chaotic, multilingual, and occasionally nonsensical as well. Track 6. One Dutch. One Dutch girl, classic, but I still pop. I love this song. I absolutely love this song. Oh, darling, favorite song. That screeching electro house beat. It's the sound of Charlie weaponizing her own mythology. One Dutch girl, classic in your eardrums isn't just a hook. It's a thesis statement. Charlie's genius here is her ability to turn jealousy into jet fuel. It's okay to just admit that you're jealous of me. That's not a plea, it's a trap. By acknowledging the gossip, I heard you talk about me, that's the word on street, she robs her detractors of their power. The nod to One Dutch, Brat resurrected from the grave of 2000s Tucker hats, it's a cheeky metaphor for her own career. Niche, nostalgic, but suddenly everywhere. But Charlie delivers it with a smirk, not a scowl. She's not bitter, she's bored. And the impact? One Dutch is pop music as a power move. In a landscape where female artists are still expected to play nice, Charlie throws a cocktail of self assurance. It's a masterclass in turning cringe into currency, proving that confidence isn't just sexy, it's subversive.
Track 7. Everything is romantic.
This is gonna be specific for the remix because I think they're very similar. Charli XCX doesn't just romanticize love. She weaponizes romance as a lens to dissect late capitalism, urban decay, and rebellion. The ACAB tag on the bus stop sign, that's not just a gritty backdrop. It's framing civil disobedience as a romantic act of defiance. By juxtaposing luxury with primal natural cycle, she critiques class divides and commodification of female body. The girl throwing up from the back of Lime bike isn't just messy anecdote. It's a snapshot of youth culture navigating a city, strained by gentrification and surveillance. Here, Charlie transforms London into character, a place where church bells clang against the transient chaos of modernity, asking, can survival itself be romantic? By elevating the mundane to sublime, Charlie challenges listeners to find radical beauty in dissent and disorder. It's flicking it to the responsibility politics, insisting that even rebellion can be lush, even chaos can be art.
Track 8. Rewind.
This track isn't just a bop, it's a scathing audit of fame's Faustian bargain. The Kesha-esque synths aren't accidental. They're haunted house of mirrors from 2010's pop excess, now cracked by hindsight. When Charlie sneers, I never used to think about Billboard, she's mocking the industry's transactional soul, where self-worth is measured by chart positions and paparazzi flashes. Rewind weaponizes nostalgia to expose the emptiness of girl boss grind. It's catchy enough for TikTok, but lyrically, the myth that success equates to fulfillment. In a post-pandemic world reckoning with mental health crisis, Charlie's pleas to turn back time feels less like a wishful sigh and more like a protest against capitalistic systems that profit from our exhaustion.
Track 9. So I.
This isn't a eulogy. It's a digital age reckoning with loss. Charlie's autotune cries aren't just personal guilt. They're a commentary on how technology mediates and distorts human connection. Sophie, a trance icon and hyperpop pioneer, becomes a spectral presence here. Her lightning strike genius haunting the track's glitchy soundscape. The line, your sound, your words live on endless, isn't just tribute. It's a radical act of preservation, ensuring Sophie's legacy resists erasure in culture that marginalizes queer voices. Cultural impact? I politicize grief by framing it as collective memory. Charlie's Raw Confession challenges the stoicism demanded by fame. In an industry that often reduces artists to content machines, this track is a grenade demanding space for vulnerability, for unresolved endings, for messiness of love that outlives death.
Track 10. Girls So Confusing.
Lower time or Lord time? Because what masquerades as a fizzy pop dissection of hair comparisons, this song and its remix, it's actually a staple shop critique of how music industry reduces women into interchangeable tropes. Charli XCX weaponizes hyperpop synthetic sheen to mimic the artificiality of celebrity feuds, framing shallow gossip awkward dinners, paparazzi thirst, as a metaphor for synthetic erasure. The original track's campy repetition of "Girl, it's so confusing" isn't just a hook, it's a satirical echo of patriarchal scripts that demand women to perform innocence or ignorance to survive. But the remix with Lord, oh my god, it just chaos. Lord swears that for a couple of years I've been at war with my body. That's not just a feature, it's a confession booth. Her raw admission of body dysmorphia and competitive jealousy, it exposes machinery behind the girl boss facade. Together, they transform gossip column fodder into manifesto. Female rivalry is often a projection of industry engineered scarcity, not genuine animosity. The line "I write for you, Charlie" isn't just closure. It's a buzz off at male dominated systems that profit from pitting women against each other. Impact of this song, it reframes pop beef as a collective catharsis. By airing insecurities publicly, Charlie and Lord dismantle the myth of effortless sisterhood, replacing it with messy accountable solidarity. And I love that because the song became a rallying cry for Gen Zs and its rejection of toxic positivity of the girl's girl trope and calling kumbayas, proving that vulnerability, it's not perfection, it fuels real connection.
Track 11. Apple.
I told the apple, the airport, the airport, the airport. This isn't just a hook, it's an earworm. It's sound of generational chains rattling. The apple rotting right to the core symbolizes the toxic legacy we inherit. Familial patterns, industry expectations, the suffocating weight of looking at you so long, now I only see me. Her desire to throw the apple into the sky isn't just mere rebellion. It's a demand for liberation from cycles of trauma, both personal and systemic. The airport motif doubles as a metaphor for diasporic displacement. Charlie, born to Indian and Scottish parents, grapples with identity fractures amplified by fame. Lines like "I wanna grow the apple, keep all the seeds" reveal the paradox of preservation versus progress. I love singing this song. How do you honor roots without being trapped by them? The outro's unanswered plea, "I wanna know where you go when you're feeling alone," isn't just familial. Its generational scream into the void of inherited silence. The impact of the song reframing cultural displacement and alienation as shared battles. In an era of trauma dumping and TikTok trends, Charlie's raw specificity elevated the conversation from voyeurism to solidarity.
Track 12. B2B.
Back to back to back to back to you. Charlie mirrors the monotony of capitalistic grind culture with beats that build and crumble in loops on this song. Tinashe's feature isn't just a collaboration though, it's a haunting, so to speak. The back-to-back chorus becomes a grim mantra. Hustle culture equal to survival is the key. And it's all about girl boss feminism, where fans ironically glorify burnout.
Track 13. Mean Girls.
This one is for my mean girls. It's a forensic audit of internet femininity. The titular mean girl isn't just a high school bully, but a digitally engineered archetype. This is to Lana Del Rey, coquette dresses, extremely skinny, all these stereotypes, you know. This isn't a shade to Lana Del Rey though. It's a takedown of algorithmic aesthetics that reduce women to consumerable tropes. It's not just a homage, it's a coded scream into hyperpop void, where irony and sincerity, they collide. Mean girls hurting men. Charlie weaponizes the trope. These girls aren't just catty rivals, they're survivors of patriarchal programming. The nod to Dasha and Dime Square alt-light movement, problematic but press darling, isn't accidental. It's a critique of how cool girl aesthetic often masks regressive politics. Stan culture's blind devotion, follow an idol and whatever, regardless of controversy, becomes a mirror of the listener. Are we the mean girls? The impact here is that this song turns the it girl myth into a cautionary tale. Famous but not too famous, as you call it, resonating with Gen Z's rejection of performative authenticity. Track 14. I think about it all the time. Charlie's questioning, should I stop taking my birth control on this song? And it broke something inside me. It isn't just a whisper. It's a denotion of unspoken pressure placed on women to monetize their fertility. The track's ice cold delivery, half sung, half spent, mirrors the clinical scrutiny of her biological clock. Freedom versus legacy. Artistry versus motherhood. Maybe, just maybe one day, I might. It's but a rage against nebulous timelines forced onto women. Bon Iver's feature isn't harmony, it's haunting. His "Why do you search your heart" echoing the societal gaslighting of childless women. And the impact in a post-Roe world, I think about it all the time, becomes an anthem for reproductive reckoning. Its raw admission of guilt over wanting both your career and a family challenged pop's girl boss veneer, resonating with millennials navigating frozen eggs and flex schedules. Track 15, 365. 365 party girl, because we're still bumping that. The gooey synths of 365 aren't just like ear candy to me. They are sound of late stage capitalism's feedback loop. Charlie's Bumpin' That isn't a party flex at this point. It's a self-medication, PSA, as coping mechanism for the non-stop promo grind. And drugs as currency in the attention economy kind of makes sense. That's how you think people are cool. I don't believe that, but I can understand that. 365 Party Girl isn't a flex though. It's a prison sentence. The club as purgatory of chronically online. Even the windows crack from bass isn't rebellion. It's the sound of burnout commodified into content. And the impact of this song, the weaponized hedonism as critique, it's going beyond just Instagram. It's on TikTok, it's on multiple platforms, and it exposes Gen Z's nihilism and embrace of escapism. And we call them bangers. And oh my god, as I said, there are so many thoughts that come when you think about Brat. But at the end of the day, the core crux of this album is basically this idea that anything and everything can be Brat. You don't have to put yourself into boxes to just feel like you are a part of this community that celebrates Brat, that's questioning, oh my god, how did we go from Brat to Hitler Winter? Keep your eyes open and you would know. Hitler Winter always existed. You can't be just asking, where did the Brat summer go? It's still here, but are you equipped enough to fight the Hitler Winter? That's the main theme.